Turning to what you might call the leftovers of the 2022 midterm elections, the Georgia Senate runoff, where election officials are reporting huge turnout in early voting with just 8 days until that election. Joining me now in Georgia is Greg Bluestein, politics reporter for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. He is also an NBC News contributor. So great to see you. We were talking at the end of last week about the fact that people were going to turn out to the polls on Saturday in early voting. And so far, it seems like the numbers are pretty big from this weekend. Do you have a sense of where the turnout was, which candidate has benefited so far?
Yeah, well, more than 150,000 people voted over the weekend. Today is on pace for a record early voting in-person day, even when compared to 2020. So an explosion of turnout. What we do know about the weekend was that there was heaviest turnout in Metro Atlanta in Democratic-leaning areas. We hear confidence from the Democratic campaigns that they're building a cushion over the weekend of early votes. Disproportionate number of African Americans voted early over the weekend. About more than 40% of the early voters were African American, which is far higher than the black proportion of the Georgia electorate. So that's good news for Democrats too, since black voters are the backbone of the Democratic electorate here. So far we're seeing that explosion. We can at least hypothesize that explosion is helping Democratic incumbents Raphael Warnock.
Yeah, and it's also notable Warnock is actually outraising Walker 2-1. How significant is that? Of course, fundraising isn't always an indicator of which way the winds are blowing, but there's no doubt that having those extra dollars helps when you are running in an incredibly competitive race.
Exactly. It helps him in a few ways. First of all, he can blanket the airwaves with ads. We've seen a number of ads, including innovative ads that Senator Warnock's campaign has put out. Second, it puts the pressure on Herschel Walker. He had no events over the weekend. His last event was about a week ago, whereas Senator Warnock has had a number of events. Herschel Walker has been doing closed-door fundraisers because he's trying to at least not catch up, but at least kind of sort of keep pace right now. So we're seeing that happen. And third, the fundraising explosion, I guess you could say, is also helping Senator Warnock use unconventional ways to spend that money. So he is funding a campaign essentially to get hard-to-reach voters. He's funding airplanes that are flying over college campuses, towing banners that say, "Remember to vote early," billboards at bus stops, things that you don't necessarily see a campaign that's cash-strapped even think about doing.
Now, you also have some new reporting about Walker deciding to be silent about the Trump controversy that we've been talking about throughout the show. Former President Trump having dinner with that known white supremacist in Kanye West. What can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Herschel Walker's taking the same strategy that many national Republicans are, which is sidestepping or trying to sidestep this controversy, this Trump appearing with a racist, anti-Semitic Holocaust denier altogether. Herschel Walker's campaign said it was not going to comment. We'll see if he says anything on the campaign trail about it. But meanwhile, other top Republicans here in Georgia are taking a very different stance. We've heard from Governor Brian Kemp, Attorney General Chris Carr, and Lieutenant Governor-elect Burt Jones, all condemning Fuentes' anti-Semitism as racism.
Well, Greg, I know it's going to be a busy several days for you. Thank you so much for joining us and bringing us all of your great reporting. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.